Just for clarification, it was okay
Okay.
that I recorded this, right?
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
I've made notes of all the things
Uh-huh.
that you told me,
Okay,
and
awesome.
so I just wanna go through quickly what it is that we are going to talk about today.
Okay.
So you wanted to talk a little bit about soulbinds and conduits and which ones are better and which one I
Yeah,
use.
yeah. Right, right.
Then spell priority if you use prayer of healing or not. Um,
Yes.
how to
AoE,
deal
yeah.
with pridefuls, especially if you don't have cooldowns.
CDs, yeah.
Yep. Then dungeon tips for theater, and the other side, lightning boss.
Yeah, her specifically, yeah.
And then mana management.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, you can stream your screen to me, and
Okay.
I'll just have a look at your stats and talents. You were running with body and soul talent, right?
I believe yes I am. I'm doing body and soul.
Okay, so my advice to you would be to spec out of that and spec into angelic feather instead. Since you're
Angelic
talking,
Feather? Okay.
yeah, since you're talking a lot about mana management, I feel like that would definitely benefit you because
Oh, okay.
your group
Gotcha.
has a lot of movement on their own, pretty much. So you don't really have to babysit other people with movement. Just take
Okay.
care of yourself. And you're going for a crit mastery build, yeah?
Yes.
Do you feel comfortable with it?
I think I should because I the Holy Priest Mastery, I because it's always in there with my top healing, so that's why I feel like it's more like important because I'm still like very new. Like in BFA was when I started Mythic Plus, and I would run like tens and like 12s would kind of be my max, but I really want to push it to Keystone Master for this expansion because I'm still fairly new to this.
Mm.
To like this is my second season in for Mythic Plus.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you'll definitely get it. There's no doubt about it, and it doesn't really
Okay,
matter
awesome.
which build you play.
Okay, okay.
But once you get more gear, I see you're 209 now, but you'll get more gear, and by then your crit and mastery should be a bit higher as
Okay,
well.
awesome.
So as long as you can keep stacking them, you're gonna be fine. As for the soul binds, I personally use M&I because I'm going for the haste buff that she gives you at the end.
Oh, this one. Okay.
But in general, I feel like Merilith and M&I would probably be your top choices. Just because you
Okay, gotcha.
can you can swap around your potency and endurance a bit more, because
Right.
you can stack double endurance or double potency there, and you can't really do
Okay,
that with the
gotcha.
last guy.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't really consider using him. I was looking at his stuff. I feel like these two would be more like more beneficial.
and since you're playing Necrolord with M&I, you get the intellect buff when you pop Unholy no or the Unholy Transfusion.
Yeah, because I'm actually because I was actually Kyrian just about like last week, and I was like about 32-ish with Kyrian, but I recently swapped over to Necrolord because I feel like Unholy Nova just syncs better with Holy Priest, so that's why I'm still a bit new to Necrolord.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. You got the defensive with Fleshcraft, and then
Yeah,
you have
Fleshcraft, yeah.
the Unholy Nova, just kind of what's it called, hold up whilst you're casting other spells. If that makes sense, it's
Yeah,
kind of like an
yeah,
extra
yeah.
mastery type of thing.
It really helps, yeah.
Yeah. So I would probably say one of those. And if you do want to try the last guy, there is a on the last row, the middle one gives you crit. The more you crit,
Oh, okay.
so if you're really stacking crits at any point, then that one would probably be your go-to. Then you have your run with double
Okay.
endurance and one potency. So we're just gonna go through conduits real quick. For
Okay.
endurance, you mostly want translucent image as your first choice if you're running with one.
Oh, translucent. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
gotcha.
Because that one gives you damage reduction, and fade is a 30-second cooldown anyway, so it's really efficient in that sense.
I'm just typing this out. Okay, so translucent. Okay.
You don't have to type anything out. I have it all noted down for you already.
Oh, perfect. Okay, thank.
And then you have Light's Inspiration, which is like an extra thing. It just, when you pop
Yeah,
this repair, it just
I
heals
love
you a
it. I
bit.
think yeah, I think I'm using that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. And then for finesses, I guess it kind of depends on dungeons, but for dungeons where you have to dispel a lot, like for example, theater, Clear
Yeah,
Mind
clear
could be
mind.
really good. And
Yeah, yeah. I
then,
think I've been using that one.
yeah, that's a nice one. And then mental recovery, if you find yourself helping out with interrupts and stuff a lot, could be helpful
Okay,
as well for
gotcha.
tank hiding or anything really.
With our group, you'll need that.
For sure. But it's kind of free. Like this, if I could choose, I don't want to finesse at all. But the clear mind one is really really good.
Yeah. Okay.
As for potency, you want to prioritize resonant words because
Resonant words? Okay, got
especially
it.
since you're using flash concentration as your legendary, it's just really effective that way. You can
Okay,
get really
gotcha.
chunky heals out after your serenity or
Right,
sanctify.
right.
And then you have for your mastery build, since you say you pop prayer mending a lot, focus mending could actually be good for you if you have a second slot for it.
Okay, focus mending. Okay, yeah, I was considering that because I always use prayer of mending on CD.
Yeah, so it could be good for you. That's kind of what I'm catching from your playstyle. So
Okay.
you could consider that for your second slot. And then you have the this one for just plain cooldown reduction, holy
Yeah,
oration.
this one I think, yeah, this one I've been using. This one and Renaissance Words. Those two are the ones I'm going with right now.
Yeah, that's good. And then lasting
Okay.
spirit. I guess it could kind of depend on which tank you're running with. But
Yeah, yeah.
together with the guardian angel talent, you'll be able to pop a lot of guardian spirits. So it's just a flat out healing increase that's pretty nice. But
Gotcha.
it's not
Okay.
as prioritized as resonant words, for example.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, okay.
So resonant words into whichever one you prefer, really. Right? Do you feel informed or something
No,
about
definitely.
soulbinds? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So we can then move on to the spell priority. Prayer of
Okay.
healing is mostly just a filler. Like when you don't have sanctify, you don't have divine hymn, you don't have a circle of healing, but you still need to AE for some reason. Then just use prayer of healing.
Okay, so that's where prayer of healing comes in. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So just use that as a filler. Because since you're running with trail, I presume
Yes.
you are going to get kind of your max output through single targeting
Through
in between your
yeah.
sanctify and circle of healing.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, 'cause like sometimes like when sorry, prideful is up, like normally what I think what would happen is a lot of prayer of mendings would go out, but I think I would find more like benefit just by using flash heal and heal on everyone one at a time. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, and you're probably better off doing that as long as you weave in sanctify and circle of healing as well. So for AoE, you want to prioritize sanctify, circle of healing, divine hymn, heal and flash heal for the buff,
Okay.
and then prayer of healing. And for pridefuls, as you said, you're better off just using direct heals rather than mess around with prayer of mending and renew.
Yeah, I think that's why I've been struggling a bit with that because it's like the group needs like constant flash heals and heals because of the legendary, and then here I am like pressing renew on everyone because I think that would help, but and then the group's health goes super low, and then I'm panicking.
Yeah, it's really good to be preemptive. Like you can use your renews, your shields, your prayer of mendings like at the very start. But
Okay,
since the
beforehand.
damage stacks and gets more intense, you're also gonna have to use more direct healing spells. So if you have mana, you can prayer of mending and renew on spawn, and then try to maintain your flash concentration buff from the last fight,
Yes, yeah.
so you don't
Hmm.
have to like build it up again. And if you don't have cooldowns, a DPS needs to pop a DPS cooldown. If it's a
Okay,
recurrent theme that
gotcha.
you have a really hard time healing prides without cooldowns.
Yeah, just like for like I say no cooldowns, but like majority of the time I will have something up because
Mhm.
I do have to be mindful of the prideful timer. Like, okay, so prideful's coming in this pack. I shouldn't just blow all CDs on this pack. So that is something that I'm like trying to pay attention for.
But in general,
Yeah.
like just like keys in general, it's a team effort, right? So
Yeah,
If the healer
definitely.
can't carry a pride, then the DPS needs to help out. And also, if you have a Shadow Priest, you can ask for Vampiric. If you have a Demon Hunter, Darkness, DK, MC,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah.
So you can ask for that, or they should be popping that. And also, in Before Pride, if you need to drink, there is a couple seconds window where you're out of combat, unless it spawns with a mob. So you're out of combat for like 2-3 seconds maybe before the first hit of the pride happens. So you
Oh,
can sit
so you're
down.
not directly. Oh, you can.
You can
Oh,
sit
I
down
did
for
not know
just a
that.
couple
Okay.
seconds. It might not restore
Okay,
a lot of
awesome.
mana, but it
But
will.
it's if with mage food, hopefully it'll be something.
Yeah. So what I
Okay,
do
I did not
sometimes,
know that. Okay.
yeah. So what I do sometimes is I just when I see pride, I just spam the food until I sit down.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Okay, okay.
Right. So Theater Pain, last boss you want to talk about. So with that boss, it's well, it starts kind of chill, right? The only
Yeah,
thing you really
yeah.
have to think about at the start is the tank mechanic. So there's the tank mechanic, and on that, if you struggle with that, it's kind of helpful to just watch the cast bar go off. So then you can already start casting on the tank. So you're kind of ahead with
Okay.
healing there. If you feel like it's rough in general
Yeah,
to
the
heal tanks
beginning
there.
is fairly easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like what I tend to do is I tend to stay like I tend to kind of hug the tank. Like stay really close with the tank and then so if she casts her cone move, like I don't get hit by that. I don't know, that's what I tend to do. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Should I kind of like move out on my own space?
No, you don't have to do that. It's this
Okay.
fight is very it works fine wherever you're standing, but don't stand too
Okay,
far
okay.
away. Like it works much better if you stand close to the boss. So then there's only the thing that you have to dodge, the frontal thing, and then there are the ghosts with the circles.
Yes,
You
those.
wanna yeah, you wanna group up as much as possible, but you don't wanna overlap the circles.
Okay, so that phase we stay grouped. Okay.
So when it comes in, you can use your you can pop your instant spells, right? Because obviously you're gonna have to move because you're getting dragged in. So you can
Right,
use
right.
your prayer of mendings, your powered shields, your renews, and then
Okay.
when the AOE hits, you just insta like sanctify or circle of healing. So you kind of
Okay.
have so you're ahead because this
So
boss
whenever
is all
yeah, okay,
about
gotcha.
yeah, this boss is all about being preemptive and prepared. Really, that's what I
Right,
caught
okay.
from it. So the more you're ready for things, the better. And the ghosts can also be CC'd. They can be feared. They can be knocked. They can be silenced. So just anything to stop the cast. And they usually have really low health anyway, so you can just burst them down. When you move into the intermission, or when he does the big AOE, you want to
Hmm.
tank the boss on the outside of the room, like on the outskirts of the room, because that way it's much easier to dodge everything pretty much. And
Oh,
just
okay.
yeah, just stay close to the boss and your party in general, unless you get the circles. But the idea is like the further away you are from the boss, the more likely you are of getting hit by something, because
Okay.
there's likely going to be an overlap between the running bulls and the frontal cone, for example, the spinny one. So if you're closer
That
to
is
the
true. Yeah.
boss, you have a much easier time dodging both of those. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So be as preemptive as you can. Start casting before it comes in, and stand on the outskirts of the room, close to the boss and your team.
Okay.
On the other side, the lightning boss, the debuff
Yeah.
should be spread between all players. Because by the time everybody has had the debuff, the first person doesn't have any debuff anymore, like afterwards.
Okay, and like so the debuff it starts on a random player and then it'll move like if let's say I have it and then if I stand by someone else they'll have it, right? And it
They'll
can't
get
be
it.
like cleansed or anything. Like it just you just have to it's a healing thing, right?
It is a healing thing, and it moves.
Okay.
It goes to 4 stacks, and then it tries to spread automatically. So if you have the debuff, you stand close to an ally, and when the 4 stacks are over, it will spread to the other person. It's a lot about like looking at who has the stacks and who doesn't, so you don't spread it to somebody who's already have had the debuff,
Who's
and
already
it will
had it?
just
Oh,
yeah.
Which
So
boss
okay.
is
that
this?
way it will just uh, keep stacking on that person. The debuff works, it stacks up to 4, and then it spreads to the closest player and starts stacking on
Okay.
them. And if you, I mean, if the worst thing happens that you do stack up to 8 or something like that, and you get the mechanic like the bump or the one where everyone has to go up, then
Right.
immunities, the like biggest offensives you have, like it's just you just got to do it because you take fall damage as well, and you're very very likely to die if you're over 4 stacks.
So that would be when Desperate Prayer should be used, right? Like for
Oh, definitely. But use it,
um
like, just use it religiously, really. I find that fight really hard. Just because you take fall
yeah,
damage on
yeah,
top of
I
everything
did.
else.
Yeah.
Let's say you spread the debuff to your friend, and then their debuff is running, or their it's about to spread again. You
Hmm.
just can't like be close to them. Like you have to be away from them, so it spreads to somebody else closer. Because otherwise
Okay,
you're gonna get
gotcha.
it if you're close to them.
Right, right.
Like the
Yeah.
debuff doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's just gonna go to whoever's closest.
Yeah. So is Power Word Shield not like because it was like in BFA, like I was just like, oh, I wish priests had a shield, right? And then when Shadowlands came, they got Power Word Shield, and I got so happy. But is Shadow Word or sorry, Power Word Shield like worth it? Like, is it worth using a lot?
No.
No, it's
It's
not,
it's
right?
just
Okay.
gonna drain mana from you, and powered shield's value is only what? Can I talk? Powered powered shield's value is only comparable when you get into mechanics that are likely to kill you. So let's take third boss Sanguine Depths.
Okay,
Do you
okay.
know that
Oh,
one?
right, right. Yeah, yeah.
When you're grabbing balls, you have to run,
Right,
right? So powered shield could be useful in that situation to just have a little bit of extra safety for the other players.
right,
And
right.
so and
Okay.
you're kind of forced to use your instant spells anyways at that point because you're running around catching
Right,
balls, right?
right, right.
So in that situation, and also on theater last boss and before the big AoE or the portal, no, I mean the ghost AoE as well.
So then those are times to pop Power Word Shield. Okay, yeah, I think that's another mistake. I've been relying a lot on it,
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't really
and
give you that much value when you compare it to other spells like Prayer of Mending or Renew even.
yeah, that is true. Okay.
Because Renew just keeps on taking Prayer of Mending jumps and Powered Shield just sits there. So if you have the mana and the time to be preemptive, you definitely use Powered Shield, but don't
Right.
prioritize it. And you're probably gonna notice that now when you're spec'd into Angelic Feather instead, you're
Right.
probably gonna notice that you're not gonna cast a lot of powered shields, and so you're not gonna as fast. You're not gonna
Okay,
be
okay.
half
Yeah.
mana into a pack because you speeded everyone with body and soul buff.
Yeah, like giving all five of them. I do that a lot. And
Yeah.
and I have tried Angelic Feather, but I'm just like, oh, this is so much easier. Just a one quick powered shield. Not only are they shielded, they get movement, but like I've been overestimating the shield. So I think Angelic Feather would greatly help.
I definitely think so. Yeah. Right. So, just for mana management, I think we actually went through all of that
Yeah, yeah.
anyways. But the general idea is to just cut down on the spells that won't directly benefit the scenario.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
use your instant spells, like your small instant spells, preemptively, and then use your direct heals on the prides and stuff.
Okay,
And if you
okay.
find that you cast Renew a lot, it could be worth for
Hmm.
you to try the Benediction talent to get more value out of Prayer of Mending, and then you cast Renew as a filler rather than Renew, Renew, Renew.
So what okay, so benediction, should I also do renowned faith or should I keep Trail of Light because of the legendary?
That one is really up to you.
Okay,
They're
so that just
both
depends on
beneficial,
playstyle.
but
Okay.
they're both beneficial in the sense that you heal more on the people that already have Renew passively, and Trail of Light is more helpful to your direct spells and also benefits your mastery. Do you ever use Symbol of Hope?
Um yes, typically if like for example, if I didn't get time to drink and if I'm sitting like 30 or under percent mana, that's when I tend to pop it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Keep doing that.
Yeah.
It's also affected by haste buffs. So if you happen to get haste proc
Oh,
out of
okay.
something, and you know that you want to regen at some point, you can just pop it. the bottom line is just be as vocal as possible with your mana and your cooldowns because the
Okay,
key is
gotcha.
a team effort and you
Yeah,
cannot
yeah,
carry as a healer.
100%. Yeah.
All right. Well, was there anything else?
No, I think I'm good now.
I have an evaluation form that I send
Uh-huh.
out. Would it be okay if I sent you one and you can
Yeah,
answer
of
it?
course. Of course.
Okay, that's awesome. So, and I'll
Okay.
also send you the document that I prepared for this with
Okay,
basically all
awesome.
the things that we've been talking about now.
Okay,
Um,
awesome. Okay.
you're gonna get as a document, so you have it, so you can keep your memory fresh if you need to.
Okay, perfect.
So okay, so I'll just go ahead and send you the document and the evaluation form. And I thank you for redeeming this. It's been really fun to meet you. And
Yeah, awesome. It was so nice to meet you too. Thank you.
I hope you guys have a good evening or a day even. It's early
Yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
yeah. 6 hour, yeah. 6 hour difference.
Yeah. Well, you have a good day and I'll see you around.
Okay, bye. Take care.
You too. Bye.